And you're listening to BDE, Big Darien Energy. Big Darien Energy.
Hi, this is Darien Blake, and you're watching Big Darien Energy on Spotify. I always wanted to do that, but like on camera. Actually, maybe I have. I don't know. Anyways, welcome back to my channel. That's Jeffree Star for you. Jeffree Star used to do that. I don't know if he still does because I don't watch his videos, but I do watch his Snapchat because he's just like funny. And he's amazing. He's a great human being, in my opinion. I wanted to start 2026 off with a solo episode. I thought that was fitting, but I just wanted to take a moment to reflect. Obviously, this podcast is 2 weeks or like a week late, a week and a half. And there's a reason for that. I guess I'm just gonna read something that I posted on TikTok because this is kind of gonna be the theme for the episode. So I'm gonna read it. 2025 taught me so much. I cried almost every day. Not a joke. I hated the situations that I put myself in, the love that I always gave away that was never returned, just because I was so desperate to feel appreciated, cared for, and loved by people when really I just needed to love myself unconditionally first and establish healthy boundaries. Lessons were definitely learned in 2025, and I promise I wouldn't change any of them for the world. Because of this, everything I have, everything I became, and everything I've done, and everything I'm on my way to do, I did that shit by myself. And no one can ever take that power away from me unless I allow it. And I promise I will never allow it again. With that being said, I kind of touched on it before, but obviously this podcast is late. It's the holiday season. I mean, not anymore, but it was. And since I am by myself, I'm going through life by myself, emotionally, just financially, like literally everything. I needed a moment. I needed a break because especially number one, it's a winter time. I'm cold, so I'm just already sad. Not that I'm sad. I wasn't depressed, but I just needed a moment to reflect. And just like I said, I needed to love myself, and I kept reaching out for people, and I wanted to be around people when really I just needed to be okay being by myself. And I can genuinely say 2025 taught me that. I had to cut a lot of people, not a lot of people, because I'm not around a lot of people, but I did have to cut some people out of my life who were in 2025 and, prior years because of the way that they treated me. And the reason why it took me so long to cut them out is because I was so desperate, like I said, to just have these people in my life. I didn't want to be alone. And there were times like on the 4th of July where like I just didn't want to be alone. And even went back on the dating apps because I was planning for New Year's that I didn't want to be alone for New Year's. Then I was like, this is so stupid. So yeah, I was alone for New Year's anyways, which like I'm fine being alone for New Year's. Gigi, my dog, hates the fireworks, so like I have to be home anyways. But I mean, it all works out and I'm literally totally fine. I learned a lot and I hate when I say and, but also I don't believe in New Year's resolutions. So people are like, oh, let me guess, your first episode in January 2026 is going to be about New Year's resolutions. No, joke's on you because it's not. I personally, for my own reasons, I don't believe in New Year's resolutions. I think that that can be an excuse for people when if you just want to do something, you just do it. Why do you need to wait until January 1st of whatever year it is to continue to or to start doing something? I think that that's an excuse. It's like, oh, when people like want to eat healthier, like go to the gym or like XYZ, whatever you want to do, like, oh, and it's the weekend, like, oh, I'm going to wait till Monday to do it. You're already setting yourself up because the whole thing with discipline is trusting yourself, and people lack confidence if you understand, not if you understand, but if somebody lacks confidence, it's because they don't hold themselves accountable. So that's why I don't do New Year's resolutions. But I use the new year as a time to reflect back on previous years or the prior year to establish or figure out my growth, my goals, what I want to do. I do quarters, so I believe in the quarter system. You do the quarter system in life. There's Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. If you don't know what that is, look it up. I'm not going to explain it. Now you know why this episode is a little late. I needed a moment. I needed a mental moment to just woosah and love myself. To be honest, everything happens for a reason. People could be like, oh, well, I invited you to blah, blah, blah for Christmas or like whatever. Yeah, you did. But like, that's not my family. I don't know those people. I already feel uncomfortable in situations. Not only that, why would I want to go somewhere and answer very surface level questions? I'm not a surface level type of person. That shit I find very, it doesn't stimulate me. Not only that, but answering questions like, oh, do you have kids? No. And I don't, to be completely honest, I don't want them. I think I have talked about kids, but I think also that's because of who I'm around. And I feel awkward, to be completely honest. I feel awkward as a woman telling people, do you know how many times even people who I'm really close with, like, oh, I don't want kids. And do you know how many times they're like, oh, when you meet the right person? No, I love myself. And I just, not saying that if you're a mom, you don't love yourself, but I do think that everybody has a purpose. And some people, I think that their purpose is to be a parent. Some women, that's their purpose, to be a mom. I and then I already know what people are going to say. Well, you'd make such a great mom. I know that. I know that. But in my opinion, I think that if you're a mom, that should be your duty and you should raise that child because that's what you decided to do. And it's a full-time freaking job. Like, it's not just until they're 18, it's until they die or you die. That's a big ass commitment. And since I have gone through so much shit in my life, I believe that my purpose is to help people. I have tried to unalive myself. I talked about this in the podcast before. I do want to talk about that with my doctor in LA. So when I go back to LA, shout out Dr. Ingram if you're listening to this, because he's the best doctor I've ever had. Smart. I don't know why. Just did there, but Dr. Ingram, shout out to you, because you literally are the best doctor. Saved my life. No, anyways, so with that being said, I think my purpose is just different in life. Carrying on, I needed a moment to just ponder 2025 and think about what I wanted in 2026. So here we are. Now, I'm going to jump into why I started this podcast and what my podcast is about, because a lot of people have been asking me, or like when they see that I have a podcast, they're like, oh, what's your podcast about? What do you talk about? The podcast name is obviously, Big Darien Energy. My whole goal with Big Darien Energy was, number one, there wasn't a podcast that I genuinely wanted to listen to. I didn't know if I ever wanted to talk about this, but I guess I'm talking about it right now. I used to really listen to Call Her Daddy. Like, I loved Call Her Daddy when it was like her and Sophia. And like, no shame to like either of them, like either, yeah, either of them, whatever, however you say it. Tomato, potato. I say tomato, potato because I know it's tomato, tomato, but like I say tomato, potato because like some people like tomatoes, some people like potatoes, and either or. Anyways, I used to listen to Call Her Daddy. And then now, to be completely honest, there's no podcast. Like, I don't care about what celebrity has had plastic surgery. I don't give a fuck about what drugs are people's favorite. I don't give a fuck about who cheated on who. Honestly, I just don't care about those things. So I wanted to create a podcast where I was curious and had people on to talk about things that I want to learn, or social, how do you say, social causes, or social causes that I care about, like, society right now. I want to have somebody from Border Patrol on the podcast because I am moving back to LA in a couple months. With me moving back to LA in a couple months, I do want to capitalize on the San Diego culture and, things that I can't get in LA, which is like the Border Patrol. So I do want to, with all the political stuff going on, I'm not going to touch on this right now because that's not what this podcast episode is going to be about. That will have its special episode. But my podcast is about just how I carry myself, and I want to help people who grew up like me or are like me and don't have a support system, don't have a lot of friends, don't have really anybody to lean on, because I am, not to toot my own horn, but like, and I don't know why I want to cry right now, but I've gone through some really hard shit. Like, really, I've been fucked over by literally every single person who was supposed to take care of me. And not even just my blood family, like not even just like my mom or my dad. Like I say my adoptive grandparents, like my brother, like my ex's family, like, and no matter what, bitch, you're not going to knock me down. So, one of my favorite quotes, and well, it's not one of my favorite quotes. I just heard it just recently, going back to why I started this podcast and what I read in the beginning. So, the quote is, fuck how we used to be. Now we're how we need to be. And that is why I'm here in this podcast, because I'll post on social media, and I've been saying that 2026 is my villain era, which it's not me being malicious or, coming for anybody's neck. It's just me. I'm done being naive. I'm done being a people pleaser. And I realize that I care way too much about what everybody thinks. And that makes me really sad for myself, because who cares? Why would I care what you guys think? Who are you? This is my life. And I wish more people understood. And I mean, I just understood it just recently. But this is your life. We're only here for so long. And I think that we need to realize that, because nothing is promised. And I genuinely don't want to live with any single other regrets. Another thing that I do want to talk about is, obviously seeing people's true colors and going back to me being naive. And I had to cut a lot of people out of my life in 2025. It's not because, and like literally I had to I will block you. I will block you from everything. I will block you on everything on social media. And people are like, why do you block people? Because my life, you seeing my life and access to me is a privilege. So once I realize like I'm done, I'm a Leo. So I'm very like cutthroat. I say it how it is. It is what it is. You don't like my energy, my big Darien energy, go find whatever other sign is not a fire sign, because I'm very Leo and I only know a lot about Leos and I only know a lot about fire signs. I'm also have a lot of Taurus in my Mabobber, so I know a lot about that, which is why I'm extra stubborn, because Leos and Aquarius are not Aquarius. Leo and Taurus are very stubborn already, so sorry, you got what you got. With that being said, 2025, I saw a lot of people's true colors. I saw a lot of people be really fucked up to me when I would never really, not even really, I would just never, people treated me how I would never treat them. People told me lies, and I believed them. I really did believe them. So I'm done being a people pleaser, hence why I'm in my villain era. So if you see me, I'm in my villain era now. And I'm sorry, I just don't care about protecting. I just literally just don't care anymore. This is my life. I want to live it accordingly, and I will do that moving forward. I also stopped smoking. I don't remember what day I stopped smoking, because I just kind of did it cold turkey. I just decided one time, this is going to be the last time I'm going to buy weed. And it was the last time that I bought weed. So I know I'm going to smoke again sometime in my life. I just don't know when that is. I will figure it out when that time comes, but it's not right now for whatever reason. And I'm really proud of myself for that, because I have smoked a lot for a long time. I mean, I take breaks here and there, but it was really hard for me to eat if I wasn't high. I'm just proud of myself. I've honestly just like really proud of myself, which is a whole theme, I guess, for this episode, is just me being proud of myself, everything that I've overcome and overcame. And I'm really excited for 2026. I already have an episode for next week. Diego Luna is going to come on and talk about the wrestling culture here in San Diego, like WWE status. It's pretty cool. And that episode is going to be a fun one. So make sure to listen to that. I think I'm just going to end it here. We're going to be short and sweet. So see you. We're on the up and up. We took a little break. We took a little pause, and I don't think I'm going to take any breaks again, because I got to keep the momentum going. And since I have ADHD, like I can't do a week off. Like I have to just keep it going. That's what I also realized with this, is why it's late, because I also just dread episodes by myself, because I'm just like, it's just very don't forget about me. And I've said that a couple times. So it's just like embarrassing just sitting here. I was going to do a car conversations. That was because honestly, I tried to record this episode probably 5 other times and I did do it in my car, but it's like, it's kind of depressing just like sitting in your car like this. I'd rather be, all my animals are here. Had to stop like 12 times because of them. This is Bruca Marie. Well, she's a Bruca because she's black. And then Marie from the Aristocats because that's one of my favorite movies. So um, yeah, Andrew wants to keep her. You cannot. He wants to keep her because she's really smart. But no, she's mine. But we do have a deal. I said, because we're going back to LA the same time. Well, he's going a month before. I don't know why I'm talking about this right now. I hope he's okay that I'm saying this. But anyways, he wants Brooke Marie. We have a deal that when we go back to LA, he might be able to have her just because I don't know. We might have like joint custody or something. But the litter box has to stay at his house. So see you on Thursday because I'm going to drop this episode tonight and then I'm going to drop the other episode with Diego Luna on Thursday. And it's going to be exciting because it's about WWE SmackDown. I mean, it's not actually WWE, but like that's just what I'm calling it to you guys. So, cheers to 2026. I'm very excited for you. I already am in love with this year already. I'm so fucking excited. Also, I'm so excited to go back to LA, guys. That's where I feel my best and my most comfortable. We're in the 7th inning stretch here in San Diego. So, you're in LA. I'll see you in March. Doing a thumbnail now.